Pretty good. How are you?
I'm so happy to be talking to you.
Definitely. We have lots to talk about. Think we laughed at each other at Christmas time.
Yes, you give the best hugs. I always judge people by their hugs. And I just remember as soon as you figured out who I was, you came in for a good hug. And I was like, that's my love language.
Awesome. What about the celebrities like Tyler or BJ? Anybody match up to my heart?
No. Oh my gosh. Cat all the way. All the way.
All right, well, thank you, Jenny, for finding the time that worked and both of us scheduled to come on the KatChat Podcast. So I'm very happy to have you on.
I'm so excited to be here. I know it's been months coming. So I'm excited to see that you've got one of my shirts on too. It's appropriate.
I know. I was like, what shirt should I wear? Shipping Game or the three white man and the boy or many other shirts I got from you. So I started for shipping Game.
Yeah. Yep. I love it. Tyler Hines all the
Look, I'm channeling my inner Tyler Hand for this podcast.
way.
So, Jenny, while I have you on, I want you to tell me a little bit about who you are and a little bit of your background so we band know who you are.
Yeah, sure. I've been in the apparel business now personally for about 20 years. I started my career in sports, actually. I was a PR person and I traveled with a basketball team. Um, and I met my husband, who's a professional comedian. And so that's kind of how this apparel brand was born. He would go out and perform. And he decided one day, he's like, you know what, I'm going to try to sell stuff after my show. So he started selling T-shirts after his show, and he realized how much revenue it could bring in extra. So he decided to create a T-shirt line. And then through that, he had comedian buddies who were like, "Man, I want to have a line. I want to sell T-shirts." So um, we kind of just created. We have different brands. Dressing Festive is one of them. That is the brand that is kind of my baby. But we really started out doing this from like a performer's heart, so to speak. Trying to navigate fandom and create sort of apparel that kind of fits fandom. So we actually have 3 brick and mortar stores in Cincinnati for our main brand, Cincy shirts. I say they're in like Hallmark type towns. They're really cute little stores. And then we have an athletic line, which kind of goes in par with my background in sports, where we have licenses with the MLB and the MLS. And we do a lot of things with professional athletes. And then my brand was born out of my love for holidays. But we found out that a lot of my holiday sort of ideas were selling really well on our website. And my husband, for my birthday 3 years ago, bought me tickets to Christmas Con because I'm a huge Hallmark fan. And I wore some of my original T-shirts there, and people were just like crazy for them. They're like, "Where'd you get that? Where'd you get that?" And I'm like, "What? I made it." Um, and then what happened is my friend wore a shirt, and it's an Emily's Country Inn. So for anybody who loves Lacey Chabert, she was in a series called All of My Heart with Brendan Elliott, and it's about this inn called Emily's Country Inn. And so I just made an Emily's Country Inn shirt, and Lacey just like could not get over it. She loved it so much. And I left that event thinking, gosh, I really need to start this holiday brand. I just feel like there's a market here. And so it's been 3 years later. My goal is sort of always to like emulate what we've done with our other brands where we have licenses with professional players. My goal's kind of to create fan collections for these Hallmark stars, or these, what I like to call them holiday stars, because I just feel like this market is so underappreciated and underutilized. And I love female fandoms. I always say I come at this with, I'm a fan of fans. And so I think we kind of get overlooked a lot, but I know the community that's here, and I know the fan base that's here, and I know kind of what they want, because I am one of them. And so Dressing Festive was born sort of out of Christmas Con. And I've been at one ever since as a vendor, and I've been able to secure some official licenses. And my goal is always like, I would love to be officially licensed by Hallmark. I would love to see my stuff in a Hallmark store. That's kind of the end goal for me. But I've been slinging t-shirts for a lot of years now. So that's sort of what I've been doing.
Well, you've answered all my questions in one whole
I'm
study
so
session.
sorry.
That's okay, but yeah, I was very grateful to meet you that past Christmas time. I had no idea because as soon as I walked into that breakfast or dinner area, I went straight to my friend Kim, who was
Yeah.
also from Wisconsin. I went to talking and talking, and I turned over. Kathy was talking to some woman. I was like, she's like, come over here. That Dressing Festive, know the truth. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'll be right back. So I was very grateful to meet you because after the watch parties and after you kind of like gifted us the t-shirt, which I really appreciated, as well as Kathy and Ashley for the shipping guild watch party, and Rose, Sandra, and Kathy again for the three white men and a
Yeah.
baby and a
Yeah.
boy. And a boy.
Good boy.
I found the teachers are very creative, and I just love them all. So every time I went to the vendor this past Christmas card, I was like, so many children. I'm gonna go for this one, and I'm gonna go for Jonathan Bennett's shirt.
Yeah.
Then one of my friends brought me another shirt from one of Tyler's movies. So it's amazing how something small, just between you and your husband, supported each other and blows up. I had no idea that your brand or your business works with professionals for sports because you mentioned that you were into sports before you were dressing Festive almost pretty much full time, correct?
Yeah, so I guess, and I had discussed Haley from Crown Chats about this is, I was a woman working in sports 20 years ago, and it was really difficult because I felt like that was sort of right when the coming of age of like, oh, women do actually like sports, and there wasn't a lot of gear towards women. I like this was just 20 years ago. Like it blows my mind when I think about this, and I kind of always had like a sore spot about it. Is like, gosh, like it's like they don't realize women are fans. And so when I got the opportunity to kind of help build the other brands, I was always like, women are the ones shopping. Women are fans, and I feel like just lately, just in the last 2 or 3 years, people are really starting to pay attention to female fandoms. I think of Taylor Swift immediately. The media wants to call everybody ridiculous. Like, why are they dressing up? Why are they, and I look at it as like, finally, like people are really realizing that there's some legitimacy to the marketing and the branding and the sales of female fandoms. I think for so long we were kind of frowned upon or not taken seriously. Like I always joke, it's like, we can be professionals and still like Hallmark movies and geek out. I think men get permission to do that at sporting events. Like it's totally fine if they wear their quarterback's jersey, but we're silly if we try to dress like Taylor Swift, at a concert, or we want the scarf that Bethany Joy Lenz wore in her Christmas movie. And so when I say I love fans, like I really try to champion that in my approach of like, let's not be ashamed of this. Like, let's celebrate it. Let's be festive about it. And like, let's own it. And so it's really fun for me to do because I just feel like this fandom is so special. It's very community based. There's a lot of love. I think the celebrities of it help perpetuate it because they are so great. And I just think it's a really special niche that I love to serve. And so I am so fan focused whenever I do anything because I have perimeters to what I can do because I can't infringe upon Hallmark and I wouldn't want to. So I have to get real creative of like with my designs of towing that line of being respectful to things that they own versus things I'm allowed to do.
Definitely. So tell me about your birth experience at Christmas Con before you were like, okay, I'm gonna want a t-shirt with that. I'm gonna do quotes from a Hallmark movie. I'm gonna do labels of a Hallmark movie, or I'm gonna do pictures or whatever the band go crazy of. So what was the shirt that you wore at Christmas Con and made band? Oh, I like that shirt. Where did you get that? How did you
Yeah.
get that started from being just a Christmas Con goer, just for the weekend?
Yeah, so the shirt that I think got the most attention was That's Garland for You. And it still sells like it is a
You say
brand.
that again.
It's That's Garland for You. Do you remember that movie, That's Garland for You? Yes, that is probably one of my biggest sellers of all time because it's such a inside joke.
Wow.
Yeah. So that is my first ever shirt. And I wore that to Christmas Con and I got a lot of like, where did you get that? And I actually had that one on my or on our other website and it was selling. So I'm like, I wonder what people were Googling to find that because it wasn't like it was on a holiday website or anything. And then the Emily's Country Inn logo shirt. And then I did, do you remember, are you a like longtime Hallmark watcher? Like when did you start watching Hallmark? Like way back in the day? Like what was your first Hallmark movie you ever watched?
My first Hallmark movie was, I don't know, way back. I mean, I think the first few Hallmark movies was Christmas Land with Luke McFarlane
Okay.
and Nikki DeLoach. That was her first movie. And Downtime Matchmaker with Adam Mayfield and Lady Chabert.
Yes.
And
I
uh,
love that movie.
so that way back, I know I love that movie so much. So I went way back. I mean, like
What about,
Lady Rachel Boston.
do you remember A Christmas Card? Yeah, so that was one of my first shirts too. I have, and I don't know if you'll get this reference because this is a very specific reference, but I have a shirt and it's got a greeting card on it. And it literally just says what her order was at that cafe. Because do you remember they would always order the same sandwich? It was like chicken salad on rye with extra curly fries. That's what the shirt was. And I wore that one to Christmas Con, and people would see me and they're like, "Oh my gosh, that is such a specific shirt." And so I got home from that event, and I think within a month I had my website up.
That's amazing. That's
Yeah.
amazing how you wear a specific shirt for something very specific reference to a movie. And people are like, oh, I love that shirt. That movie was just so awesome. So that's really exciting. And your
Yeah.
experience that for Christmas card as well.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. How did you come up with the name Dressing Festive? I know it's like Christmas related, but what made you decide the name Dressing Festive for one of your brands?
Yeah, our tagline is celebrate every day. And so when I wanted to do this, I didn't want it just to be about Hallmark. I really love all the holidays. I'm about to just deck my house out in red, white, and blue for 4th of July. I My mom was the same way. I said I grew up with like a Martha Stewart. Our house was just always decorated for every occasion, and we were dressed to the nines. I mean, I had jingle bells all over my body all the whole month of Christmas. Like it was just a very natural thing to want to do a holiday brand. So dressing festive to me was festive all year round. And you're a teacher, right?
Yes, I'm a teacher.
Yeah.
Yes.
So celebrating the things with your classes and I wanted to do teacher apparel. I wanted to celebrate National Pretzel Day. I wanted a shirt for every occasion because I dress that way And I know that I feel like holidays are kind of more popular now than ever. I mean, things are in the store, the holiday lines are exploding. Um, and I wanted to be a part of that. So Dressing Festive is just about being festive all year round, having a shirt for everything or having a reason to dress up for anything.
Definitely, definitely. I will take a peek at the website or the social media just to see if there's anything new or anything I
Yeah.
like. Like some a couple of movies I was looking at Haley, who I was posting. So I thought, okay, that's on my list. I'm gonna get that now. Okay, I'm gonna get that now. And I see new Hallmark movie coming up. And I'm like, well, maybe I should tell Justin Bacham to do something about that movie. Just ideas brewing, so that's very exciting because I look forward to new ideas,
Yeah.
new design for 2025.
Oh, I've got so I always like right now I'm working on fall and Christmas already. And I start with a big launch in Christmas in July. So that'll be my first big Christmas movie launch. And then starting in end of August, I'll probably put up almost all my Christmas stuff by August. So it's coming. Some new stuff is coming. And then I pick and choose what movies I think there will be a fan base for. So obviously anything with Tyler is going to be the thing to do. And I see what fans are sort of rallying behind. Um, and then I'll make a shirt. There's some shirts I still need to make. I was thinking I haven't caught up on all the Christmas movies from last year. And so I always do that in Christmas in July. And I've had fans. I love when fans reach out because I can't always watch all the movies. So I love when people reach out and they're like, I have one fan that is dying for me to do a Strudel Fest t-shirt. So that's one I'm working on right now. Do you remember that movie with Lacey and Tyler?
That will be a cute one. That will be a
Yeah.
cute one,
So, you
definitely.
know, working on some of the ones that I may have missed in the past that, everybody has their one movie that's their favorite. And that's the beauty of our company is we're direct to garment printing. So we don't have stock of anything. So I can literally throw anything up and it doesn't hurt me to do it. And so it's always special to me or fun to me when I have someone reach out and they're like, man, that movie I don't know the name of that movie. It's escaping me at the moment, but she's like, I really need a Strudel Fest shirt. And every time I see her, she's like, I need a Strudel Fest shirt. So I'm working on that. But it's just cool when you're at Christmas Con and then you see someone and what their favorites are and what they're wearing, and you're a part of that joy. Like that, I mean, I really love that.
Half of the shirt I wore on Christmas time with your shirt, to be honest. Because I was like going back and forth with group photo ops or selfies. So I probably wore one, two, maybe three of those shirts the entire weekend. So I was like, so perfect because sometimes I don't pack shirts. I'm like, oh, I need a shirt for that photo op. So I go
Yeah.
to the dressing back to vendor booth and find a shirt. It's always something to look at and always
Yeah.
something to find in that booth of yours.
Yeah, I have a lot of fun. I actually have already started planning for. I just paid my booth fee for this next year, so I'm excited about. I'm going to theme it out a little bit more this year. I think I'm going to do the places we love and do a whole section of like Hallmark pretend places. I hope to have some more celebrity apparel that's officially licensed. So I would love to work with some of the people that are coming to the con too. So that's something that we've started doing where we reach out and see if we can bring something. Because if you're a celebrity, you want to see people with um, your name on their shirts or wearing stuff in the fan photos that sort of celebrate um I don't know, career, like celebrate you. So that's one of the things we've done with 90s Con is we've been able to secure licensing for, brands like Saved by the Bell. So we were able to do like a bunch of Saved by the Bell shirts for 90s Con, and people, when they get there, they're like, what am I going to wear with my picture? And then come to our booth and they can get a Saved by the Bell shirt. So it's been really cool.
Nice. What did the product like for you when it comes to creating shoes? Like how to start with an idea, to start with like theme, growth, or picture, not exactly a picture, but like a comic picture. What is the process for you like when it comes to creating shoes?
Yeah, so really it's watching the movie. So that's where a lot of the time is like, do I have time to watch this movie? And kind of gauging what movies are going to be really popular. I really have to do that at Christmas time because it's like when you're doing this Christmas con, I don't have a lot of turnaround time. So it's like, what are the hot movies going to be? And you always kind of know. I mean, if Tyler Hines is in it, if Andrew Walker's in it, if Paul Campbell's in it, if Christopher Palaha's in it, Jonathan Bennett's in it, it's going to be a big movie. But for me, it's what makes this movie special. Is it the business that we're trying to save? Is it the Christmas tree lighting? Is it the festival that they're having? Or is it the celebrity? So like when they did the Kansas City football, I knew I couldn't do anything Kansas City football, but I can do a shirt that says I'm just here for Tyler with like a football jersey number on the back. And then I can get the matching Kansas City color. So I try to be within the lines of, licenses. And so that's always kind of how I approach it. What can I do? What can I do that kind of really hits home on the movie or the star that's in the movie without crossing a line? But as far as how the artwork's created, we actually have 2 full-time designers. They're phenomenal. So I will try to like scratch out the concept and explain it and then let them go to town on it. They're so good. Like it's so funny. I can tell you what to draw. I cannot draw. And they're phenomenal. I think they're the best in the business. So all the credit to them for all of the designs, because I throw them some really crazy stuff. Like I need guys, but they're doing like a stacked Christmas tree. But I want you, this is like for the Three Wise Men shirt, like trying to explain to them, like the tall guy is doing the top of the Christmas tree. And then you got so trying to explain to them what that shirt should look like. They're like, what am I drawing right now?
And
I
the
was like, you
short
gotta watch
guy,
the movie.
unfortunately, entirely the thump of the Christmas
Yeah,
tree. I
right,
thought that
right.
picture was amazing. It's
Yeah,
comfortable, the material, the design was just amazing.
yeah. Yeah. So they always end up having to go watch the movie to understand what I'm explaining to them, which is hilarious. So sometimes in our warehouse, I'll go in and I'll put the movie on so they can see what they're printing a lot of I know it's totally funny. They all like, I took an entire warehouse group of people and made them Hallmark fans because they're like, why am I printing this shirt that says Snow Valley Lodge? That's from the movie Let It Snow. They're like, what's Snow Valley Lodge? And I'm like, well, that's the lodge they're trying to save and let it snow. And they're like, oh, let's put that movie on. So they'll put it on and be like, oh, I get it.
That's awesome. Do you ever do custom orders? If you do custom orders, how often do you do it? And how do you feel about custom orders? Because I know there's a lot of pros and cons with custom orders from people.
So I do we do custom stuff. Again, I try to be respectful of the celebrities. So I won't use their likeness in terms of like I won't put a picture of somebody's face on a shirt. I'm shying away from like I won't put a full name. And we will pay anybody a royalty. If Tyler Hines came knocking to my door and said, I would love a royalty, I'd be like, okay, tell me where to send it. But we don't print anything that says Tyler Hines on it. Like I can do a shirt that says I'm just here for Tyler because it's not specific, but I would love to work with everybody in official capacity. So I get a lot of requests for, will you print Tyler's face on my shirt? And I'll say, I'm so sorry, I can't do that. Like I would feel bad. I don't want to do that to Tyler. But we can totally do custom. It's funny because our stores, we actually have print on demand. So we have people who walk in our store and want a shirt, and we can actually print it
Oh,
within 5 to 10 minutes. So a lot of the requests I get are things that I can't do or I won't do just because of, trying to be respectful. But we can totally do custom stuff. I don't have a problem doing that. And again, like I have fans who will say, "This is my favorite movie. Can you make this shirt?" And if I think it's something that'll sell just beyond that one person, I'll be like, "Okay, let's do it and let's put it up on the website." Like that Strudel Fest, that'll totally be a popular shirt. Everybody loves that movie.
yeah, I'm sure. I mean, like,
Yeah.
you the fact had to come up with that or some kind of weird design. I'm sure I'll buy that one too. What are some of the challenges with Dressing Festive? What are some of the challenges to face doing a t-shirt present?
I think you have a lot of copycats. It's so funny because in this, we've experienced this with our brands that are quite larger than Dressing Festive. But if you even post a shirt anymore on Instagram and say, check out this new design at our store, there are AI bots who will copy that design from Instagram and they will have it on Temu and TeePublic. They will have your shirt design everywhere in the matter of an hour. I haven't experienced it too much with Dressing Festive yet, but it's infuriating in terms of like controlling that, because then they could be buying that shirt from someone who's never going to fulfill it and thinking it's our brand, which we've had those issues before. So that's very challenging in this marketplace right now. It's just being ripped off all the time. Um, I think the working with people in an official capacity, I always say when you start a business, you can kind of be a little risky at first and say, okay, I want to see if this business is viable. I'm going to cross a couple of lines. And I feel like, when you launch, you have to do that. But now I feel like in year 3, I'm being really respectful in terms of I really want to work with everybody on an official capacity. So for me, what I love to do, you know how much business I would do if I posted shirts with Tyler Hines' face on it? Absolutely. But I would never do that to him. And so um, there's a lot of businesses that
Right.
do that, especially on Etsy. And so I have I know that we come with years of experience, and we handle a lot of accounts for celebrities, and I just want to go about things the right way. And so that's a big challenge right now to know that we might be missing out on short-term business, but we're doing it ethically. And I think I'd rather be able to sleep at night than have the short-term sale, because I think these celebrities are such a big part of the success of Hallmark. And I think it's the right thing to do that they get a royalty off of their name and likeness. And so we're kind of in year 3. My biggest challenge is I just want to work with these guys on official capacity. So trying to secure those accounts, but doing it in the right way and the ethical way to do it.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, most people should know that copycat or all that stuff. So I really nice to see a couple of business like yours, Justin Baxter and some other business who are respectful and like to do the thing morally correct and not just apply the 50 of the Hallmark hung face on the shirt,
Yeah.
and also try to be creative about it, like with the three wise man and the boy, a plain face, but you can obviously tell Miles, Tyler, Andrew, Paul on.
Yeah.
So really nice to see the creative side of Britain at the same time respectful and boundaries and creative.
Yeah. And again, it's one of those things where if someone came knocking on my door and was like, "We want a royalty," I'd be like, "Let's do it. Let's do it officially. Let's get you a store launched and let's do this the right way." And that's just that's the biggest challenge I face now is I want to grow, but I want to grow in the right way and I want to be taken serious. And so I think, but I'm glad that I'm in that position now. I think I've established, I think people know who Dressing Festive is. They expect us to be at Christmas Con. We're well liked by That's for Entertainment. They expect us to be there every year. And so I feel that that's kind of that momentum's happening and fans love us. And that's my number one goal is, and that's the number one goal I think of the celebrities is like make the fans happy.
Definitely. So how again my next question, how to do Comic Con to be a bundle of 90 con and Christmas con? What made you decide after experiencing Christmas con as a gift from your husband? I'm gonna be a bundle. I'm gonna go out there and see what my shirt brings. So what brings you at that point?
Well, I knew if I didn't go to Christmas Con, I'd never have any brand awareness. Like if you're gonna establish your brand among holiday fans, that's the place you go. And so Kansas City was our first one as a vendor, and we did a really small booth, and it was so small that it was like ridiculous. Every year, I'm like, I need a bigger booth, but I can't legitimately cannot fit any more t-shirts in the huge van that we bring. I'm like, I don't think I could print anymore. And I don't think I could bring anymore. But when I went out to Pasadena, they had like four vendors. They had no vendors. And it was one of those things where like I went there to shop as much as I did meet the celebrities. So I was kind of like, we have such an opportunity here to create a shopping experience for fans. And so I knew that I wanted to be a vendor because I knew that, you know, like I love to decorate. I want to when I think women when they shop, they want to feel like they're going into a store in a Hallmark movie. They want to feel entranced. They got to have the t-shirt, they got to have the mug, they want to smell the candle. Like they want, not only do they want to meet their Hallmark hunk, they want to buy stuff. And so when I wanted to do Christmas Con, it was funny because I had to get my husband to buy into this. And he's like, you just need to set up a table and just put some shirts on it. And I'm like, no, we are going to make this like a store and we're going to let them come in and we're going to let them shop. And so we did it really small scaled in Kansas City. And then we knew like, okay, this is viable. Let's try to scale up the next time. And I feel like every time we go, we get a little bit better with our process because it takes me months. I already have, I already have all the beanies I'm going to sell and I'm going to start tagging them because I want it to be smooth when people are there. Like, and it's a massive process. It's like setting up a full blown store and you just got to be ready. I mean, you saw it
Oh
gets
yeah,
crazy.
I'm
There's a
ready.
line to get in,
I'm
there's a line to
ready.
check out. It's like, all right, I don't think I ate or sat for 3 days
Oh,
straight. So
good.
I
Next
know
time Christmas con, if you need to eat or drink, let me know.
I had I had people
I
bringing me
run to the
bottles of
food
water.
there to get you food and a drink.
I know. But I love it. Like it's fun.
Oh no, I get it. I get it. I barely ate
It's my
over the
baby.
weekend too. I barely try to eat out the
Yeah.
oh, like between Bolo Hop and the Pandas. I'm gonna go quickly get a hot dog and a drink, and then go into the Panda and then do my thing. But I will probably maybe eat once a day, and then
I
I
know.
actually eat at the hotel with
I
like
know.
40 different needs.
I was
So
like, if somebody walks up to me at this hotel and sees, like, because we'd get back and I would order, I was like, I want an appetizer and I want soup and I want bread and I want dinner and I probably ordered $100 worth of food when I got back because I just was so hungry and so fatigued. And we would just, and then I would be ready to just sleep. It's so fun. It is so fun. I love it. It's crazy, but I love it.
Other than running, drafting, batting, is there another full-time job, or what should you do other than running, drafting, batting?
So Dressing Festive is really my full-time job. I am sort of a utility person for all our other brands. So sometimes I'll help out with that. Like for example, we actually, one of our first celebrity clients was Pete Rose. And so the Cincinnati Reds just did a big Pete Rose day. And, we were the official licensed t-shirt company. And so we just had like a huge rush of Pete Rose orders. So I went in to help get those orders out. And then my husband and I, along with some friends, just recently opened an athletic facility. It's a baseball athletic facility. It's called the Field House. And so that has become, we have a manager for that, but I kind of help out with the special events for that. So Dressing Festive is my full-time thing. But I got other little things kind of going on.
Any celebrity moment you had encountered between 90s con or Christmas con with your merch?
Yeah. So, I think the person that has always sort of really appreciated us is Jonathan Bennett. Like, I think at the first Christmas con, I delivered T-shirts in these Christmas boxes to every one of the celebrities. And in it, I put a letter that said, I'd really like to work with you on an official capacity. Here's a couple shirts that make me think of you or your movies. And so each celebrity got 3 shirts that was like related to one of their projects. And Jonathan, I can't remember exactly what I did with
Oh,
his, but one
wow.
of his was Jonathan Bennett is my favorite. And he put the shirt on and he came over to my booth and he just made a big deal about it and he thanked me. And I just will never forget it. And I'll never forget last summer. I'm sitting at a restaurant with my kids and he called me on Facebook and was like, I have a t-shirt idea. Let's get it up. And that's the quote shirt that he wanted. You either love Hallmark movies or you're a liar. And I just love him. I love him, and his husband's great too.
I have that shirt.
I
I
just,
love that shirt.
I know, I really want to make a shirt that says "Where's James" and have people at Christmas Con wear it because, like, I think half the people that are in Jonathan Bennett's line are like, "Where's James? We love James," right?
Yeah,
Um,
I think
yeah,
that too. Because I tried to get Jonathan to, come on the podcast. I mean, if I can't get to, maybe I can shame to talk about the husband of
totally.
the Hallmark stuff. What's your life, being behind the scene husband or being the celebrity husband? I want to know from their perspective. I'm sure they're all great, but it's Jonathan Bennett. I love those two, James and Jonathan.
Oh,
Area.
love them. When we were at 90s Con, the Seventh Heaven cast went crazy over
Yeah.
the I Smoke Pot
Yeah.
shirt. It was everywhere. That was like a last minute add on, and my husband's like, "What is that shirt?" And I was like, "Just trust me. It's like this viral meme right now." Every one of them came over to my booth to thank me. They like all of them are just so incredibly awesome. But I've met it's been so many that I just feel like I have been so touched by how great these people are. For them to come and meet fans and give them hugs and talk to them and hear their story, like that's daunting. Like to have to smile for hours and hours and hours and hear everybody's life stories and how much they mean to like. And then they just does have that. Like, there's just so many people that I'm so impressed by, and we've been blessed to kind of do the t-shirt thing and have people want a shirt or send a shirt to them. But those two kind of stick out to me the most.
Definitely. Okay, when it comes to Dressing Festive, have you ever brought the return, like if you sold a couple of shirts from last year with the three white men doing a tree pose, or it was always you? The quote. Have you had other shirts that you bring back to Christmas Con to style more, or they're always new designs every year?
So I'm really going to revamp for this next year because I feel like there's been some that I've done multiple times. There are some that just will always sell. That's Garland for you. I will always bring it. It's the one movie I feel like everybody knows that quote. You know, I'm trying to think of other ones. I would love to bring the Jonathan Bennett quote shirt back, but I'd have to ask Jonathan Bennett about that. That one was really popular, even though he wasn't there, because that quote is just funny. Um,
Yeah.
I've read that there's going to be another Wes Brown, Lacey Chabert, Evergreen Lane movie. Have you heard that? So I actually have a duplicate of the jackets they wear, and I did it on a T-shirt, and I didn't know if it would sell, but I actually had people asking me to make the jackets for them, and so I think I'm going to bring the jackets, and I'm going to do that T-shirt again. But there are some that I just feel like are evergreen. Like I always bring some Home Alone shirts, and I always bring some Christmas Vacation shirts because there are husbands and guys there that are maybe not Hallmark fans, but they want, your filthy animal T-shirt. Um, but I'm trying to think of any others. Can you think of any? I know that that's Garland for you is one I always bring. And of course, everything else is like escaping me right now. I have a couple of shirts that are like, all I want to do is bake Christmas cookies and watch movies, stuff like that I bring, but I try to do different ones every year so that there's a little different twist. I have some really funny ones that I'm going to be launching for Christmas in July that you'll see at Christmas Con.
I can't wait. So, what is next for Dressing Festive? Business-wise, creative-wise, or are you thinking of a complete different idea for shirts, hoodies for Dressing Festive?
I would like, in my dream scenario, I would like to be able to expand my officially licensed collections. I would like to work with more stars. We are definitely going to be doing more events this year. I think we're going to do Small Town Christmas. And there's an event called A Year or A Weekend in the Life, which is more Gilmore Girls Center, but we're going to be doing some more events and more cons. We're going to expand that way. I hope to expand more official license. I want to get into the more as seen on stuff. I've had a lot. Every time I do the as seen on, I don't know if you really got into my booth, but I have a whole section of clothing that is seen in Hallmark movies. So it's stuff that I could wholesale out that, Candace wore or Lacey wore this beanie. And I really want to expand on that because people love that. And that's very hard to do because when I watch movies, I have to like find pieces that I think are items that I can find wholesale somewhere or similar looking. So really, those are kind of my three areas.
That's fun. Last question. What are some of your favorite Hallmark movies?
Okay. All right. So I don't know why I was trying to think of this. I don't know why these are my favorite, but these are some of my favorite. I love A Very Merry Mix-Up. It's probably one of my favorite Christmas movies with Alicia Witt and I think it's Mark Wybe. I love the All of My Heart with Lacey and Brennan. I'm a big like old school actors and actresses. Like there's certain couples that I love, like Paul and Kimberly. Like I don't ever want to see a movie where they're with somebody else. Like just give me all the Paul and Kimberly movies. Any movie that Paul and Kimberly are in, like I love, right? It's just the way it is. So all of their movies I just love. I love Irresistible Blueberry Farm. I'm an Allison Sweeney fan. Um, and then I love The Christmas Ornament with Cameron Matheson and Kelly Martin is probably one of my favorites. Those are just off the top of my head. And you have to share yours now. I know you're interviewing me, but I need to hear your top five.
Again, of course, the classic will be Downtime Matchmaker. I mean, I've interviewed Adam, And I told them I think every year, Christmas in July or Christmas, I watch that movie every single time. I can never get sick of it though. Matchmaker Santa, Christmas Land with Nikki and Luke, Cranberry Christmas.
Yeah.
Of course, the three white men and a boy and a baby, both of those. And one of the Christmas movies. But it's came on Christmas. As soon as they came out, I watched them maybe like 12 or 13 or 14 times over and over and over. So that one. But oh, classic Christmas one will be Matchmaker Santa. Christmas Card.
Yeah.
The Valentine will be called The Lost Valentine.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
that's a good one.
yeah.
Yeah. I need a
It's
Christmas land shirt.
Christmas. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. I have a t-shirt idea before we wrapped up. I know the last time we talked about it was that the Groomsman trilogy, and
Yes.
I think I had BJ Britt on my podcast. He goes, "What would you want to see from my friend Jenny Dressing Festive?" He goes, "I want to see something with the Groomsman, but it can't just be me. It has to be me, Jonathan, and Tyler or something. Maybe the Groomsman then when we do our post." That's a good idea. I'll pass it along to Dressing Festive. He was like, "What's that? Oh, I gotta go to her booth next time. Hopefully I'm going to Christmas time." And like, dude, if you're on a break, I'll drag you to her
Yes.
booth and you could see what her t-shirts are about. That we could come up with some BJ quote or anything. BJ Britt.
You know what? I never watched those movies and I will. I'll get to them this summer. But every interview that I have watched with him, I'm like, please, Hallmark, use him. He's adorable. Like I know I'm gonna fall in love with him when I watch those movies. So I will watch those movies and see if I can kind of come up with something for that.
Yeah, I give you
I
them
can't believe I
draft.
haven't watched, to be honest with you.
I could put some drafted ideas, but I went to his booth after I saw Tyler and Andrew or something, and his line wasn't that long. I'm like, oh, I have time. Don't go see, what's up. And then when he saw him, he was like, "I see you, Cat." I was like, "Hi." I was the one that made that ridiculous dance video from the group trilogy with you and Jonathan and Tyler. He goes, "Oh, I know. I seen it all. Girl, come here."
Yes.
And
I love that. I love
he
that.
gets the greatest height of him and Tyler, like right here. I'm sorry, Tyler, but they're like right here, like a gummy bear, like a gummy
I need
bear.
a good hug. I told you at the beginning of this interview. And it's so funny because I have a 13-year-old boy and I tell my husband this all the time. I fell in love with you because you give the best hugs. And so I teach my son how to give hugs because it's like, man, if you can really hug a person.
Definitely.
So now I'm gonna have to leave my booth, go get food somewhere, and then get my hugs in with all these Hallmark hunks. I'm sure my husband's
Definitely.
gonna love that.
Yeah, I will drop every celebrity. If you have time anywhere, drop by Dressing Festive, give her a hug. Go, "I like to, if you come by." They'll be like, "Oh, okay, okay."
I love it. We need a cat shirt. We need a cat podcast shirt. Do you have a podcast shirt? You
Yeah,
do?
we need to talk
Good.
about that because I want to know how that works. But just
Yeah.
really, for me personally, I'm not really looking into making profit. So we could get together another time and talk about it because I want to, give back to the community, maybe use some of the
Yeah.
fund or whatever for a charity or for some kind of a fundraiser. Because really, I just wanted to help you, build up your business like with Haley and her crown the heart. I'm like, maybe
Yeah.
we could do a
We can
sequel too.
we will talk. We can totally set you up. Like you need to have your little logo on a shirt. Absolutely. Girl,
Definitely.
we gotta do it. Yeah, you know me. I'm championing
I
fans. We
know.
need to champion these
Definitely.
podcasts too. So, and I'm sure all these people you interview would wear a podcast shirt too. So,
Hopefully I have stickers
We'll be
too.
walking around Christmas Con and everybody will have Cat Podcast shirts on.
Yeah, I've been giving stickers out after my here because I gave some of the volunteers that I work with 2 years ago, not after, but 2 years ago, here's the KatChat Podcast. Now you're trying to promote me around Christmas card or whatever. That's how I go on my interview with Kimberly Sutton. I was like, oh my God, she goes, yeah, it's second
Lovely.
time to
I
check. I'm
love
like,
her.
how many times has Paul been on your podcast? I'm like, twice. She goes, make it 3 times for me. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. I think, no, she and the best. I mean, her podcast, her interview was amazing. And it kind of pushed me into writing more in my book. So I really appreciate that.
Yeah, she's amazing. She is someone who it doesn't matter what movie she's in, what the script looks like. She is so believable. She's probably one of my favorites, if not my favorite, to watch on screen. Just adding
Definitely.
that in
Definitely. Well, we're going to wrap up the podcast episode, so I appreciate you coming on. I usually give the guests a chance if they want to take comment or ask any questions they have in mind to ask me.
I don't know that I do, but I just want to tell you that I feel like you're like this unofficial mascot of the Hallmark fans. Like everybody knows you, everybody loves you. You are such a bright light. I love what you're doing here. Keep doing what you're doing because I just feel like, just similar to me, you're like, you champion it and you're so welcoming and your content's great and just you give great hugs. And so I just want to make sure that you know how special you are to this community.
Thank you, thank you. I know I get that all the time. I did not really expect that because after starting my podcast and after my volunteer experience with Christmas card, I decided that I'm gonna go next year. But I'm not going as a volunteer. I'm just gonna go have fun and enjoy because being a volunteer was a great experience, but it was exhausting and somewhat kind of limiting, but I could somehow relate with the celebrity, standing all there, going from
Mhm.
the booth to the panel, to the photo op, to the booth, or taking a little break. But me, I'm like all over the place. I'm the photo op, I'm working at the panel, I'm taking a break, I'm trying to squeeze
Yeah.
myself through. So my second year Christmas card, all of the volunteers I worked with, hey, Kat, how you doing? I'm like, oh, I'm not working, but I will when I'm in line, I'm like, come on, go over. We gotta make room because they're going to January, they're the VIP. So come on over. You're January, go to the move up. So I should like be helping all people with that. You're the catcher. And I'm not. Hi, nice to meet you. Can I have a I was like, well, I'm not the celebrity here. I'm just a podcaster
Yeah, you
here just
are.
having
Yeah, you
fun.
are.
So I really appreciate your comment. And yeah, so Ben, Fran, Hallmark, lovers out there might be a KatChat podcast in the most in the work. But once we get everything started, we'll share the amazing news. Who knows when? So
Yes.
thank you for
Soon.
tuning in. We're Dressing Festive on the KatChat Podcast. Have a great night.
Thank you.
Bye,
Bye,
Jen. Thank
guys.
you.